1984 released movie, The Terminator, directed by well-known director James Cameron. In the movie, a human-looking indestructible cyborg is sent from 2029 to 1984 to assassinate a waitress, whose unborn son will lead humanity in a war against the machines, while a soldier from that war is sent to protect her at all costs. The low-budget film grossed $38 million domestic, and made Arnold a huge star.
You've been targeted for termination!
Movie director James Cameron makes a successful move behind the lens in one of the most breathtaking modern action science fiction movie. The Day the Earth Stood Still, 1951 released movie directed by Robert Wise. In the movie, an alien, Klaatu, with his mighty robot, GOAT, land their spacecraft on Cold War era Earth just after the end of World War II. They bring an important message to the planet that Klaatu wishes to tell to representatives of all nations. However, communication turns out to be difficult, so, after learning something about the natives, Klaatu decides on an alternative approach. The story is very simple, but the message is wonderful. When this film was made, World War II had finished 6 years ago only. There was the Cold War, and the paranoia of the Americans at that time was against the communists. The special effects are excellent for a 1951 movie. Brazil. It is 1985 released movie directed by Terry Gilliam. In the movie, Sam Lowry is a harried technocrat in a futuristic society that is needlessly convoluted and inefficient. He dreams of a life where he can fly away from technology and overpowering bureaucracy, and spend eternity with the woman of his dreams. While trying to rectify the wrongful arrest of one Harry Buttle, Lowry meets the woman he is always chasing in his dreams, Jill Layton. Meanwhile, the bureaucracy has fingered him responsible for a rash of terrorist bombings, and both Sam and Gil's lives are put in danger. The story seems to take place in a fascist alternative world. It isn't the future exactly. The technology is weird looking but hardly superior to anything in our world. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This is 2004 movie directed by Michel Gondry. In the movie, a man, Joel Barish, heartbroken that his girlfriend Clementine underwent a procedure to erase him from her memory, decides to do the same. However, as he watches his memories of her fade away, he realizes that he still loves her, but may be too late to correct his mistake. The plot of this movie is very unique, very different. The ending makes perfect sense, and while being tastefully done, it doesn't ruin the movie in any shape or form. While it is not one of those completely open-ended endings, some things are still left out in the air, to think about ourselves. Solaris. It is a 1972 Soviet science fiction art film adaptation of Polish author Stanislaw Lem's novel. The film was co-written and directed by Andrei Tarkovsky. In the movie, the Solaris mission has established a base on a planet that appears to host some kind of intelligence, but the details are hazy and very secret. After the mysterious demise of one of the 3 scientists on the base, the main character is sent out to replace him. He finds the station run down and the 2 remaining scientists cold and secretive. When he also encounters his wife who has been dead for 10 years, he begins to appreciate the baffling nature of the alien intelligence. Solaris makes you anxious, and willingly. Too many segments are like mirrors that invite your mind to venture off into many uncomfortable places. A Clockwork Orange. This is 1971 movie directed by Stanley Kubrick. In the story, protagonist, Alex Stalage is an ultra-violent youth in futuristic Britain. As with all luck, his eventually runs out and he's arrested and convicted of murder and rape. While in prison, Alex learns of an experimental program in which convicts are programmed to detest violence. If he goes through the program, his sentence will be reduced and he will be back on the streets sooner than expected. But Alex's ordeals are far from over once he hits the mean streets of Britain that he had a hand in creating. The film is an adaptation of the novel of the same name, A Clockwork Orange. It is profound and simple at the same time. 2001, A Space Odyssey. It is 1968 movie produced and directed by Stanley Kubrick. It was partially inspired by Clarke's short story The Sentinel. The film follows a voyage to Jupiter with the sentient computer HAL, after the discovery of a mysterious black monolith affecting human evolution. The film deals with the themes of existentialism, human evolution, technology, artificial intelligence, and extraterrestrial life. Today, 2001, A Space Odyssey is widely regarded as one of the greatest and most influential films ever made. Metropolis. It is a 1927 German expressionist epic science fiction drama film directed by Fritz. Sometime in the future, the city of Metropolis is home to a utopian society, where its wealthy residents living carefree life. One of those is Frederickson. One day he spots a beautiful woman with a group of children, she and the children who quickly disappear, trying to follow her. He, oblivious to such, is horrified to find an underground world of workers, apparently who run the machinery which keeps the above-ground utopian world functioning. One of the few people above ground who knows about the world below is Fred's father, Joe Fredderson, who is the founder and master of Metropolis. Freda learns that the woman is Maria, who espouses the need to join the hands, the workers, to the head, those in power above, by a mediator or the heart. Freda wants to help the plight of the workers in the want for a better life, but when Joe learns of what Maria is espousing and that Freda is joining their cause, Joe, with the assistance of an old colleague and now nemesis named Metropolis, is a fantastic futuristic view of the fight of classes. When Metropolis was shot, it was a romantic revolutionary period of mankind history, with socialist movements around the world. Star Wars. It is a 1977 American epic space opera film written and directed by George Lucas. The plot focuses on the Rebel Alliance, led by Fisher Princess Leia, and its attempt to destroy the Galactic Empire's space station, the Death Star. This conflict disrupts the isolated life of farmhand Luke Skywalker, who inadvertently acquires a pair of droids that possess stolen architectural plans for the Death Star. When the Empire begins a destructive search for the missing droids, Skywalker accompanies Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi on a mission to return the plans to the Rebel Alliance and rescue Leia from her imprisonment by the Empire. Star Wars is one of the most successful movies of all time, and it became the highest-grossing film of all time in 1977. It earned $461 million in the US and $314 million in overseas, totaling $775 million. Blade Runner. It is a 1982 American tech science fiction movie directed by Ridley Scott. It is a modified film adaptation of the 1968 novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? By Philip K. Dick. In the futuristic year of 2019, Los Angeles has become a dark and depressing metropolis, filled with urban decay. Rick Deckard, an ex-cop, is a Blade Runner. Blade Runners are people assigned to assassinate replicants. The replicants are androids that look like real human beings. When 4 replicants commit a bloody mutiny on the off-world colony, Deckard is called out of retirement to track down the androids. As he tracks the replicants, eliminating them one by one, he soon comes across another replicant, Rachel, who evokes human emotion, despite the fact that she's a replicant herself. As Deckard closes in on the leader of the replicant group, his true hatred toward artificial intelligence makes him question his own identity in this future world, including what's human and what's not human. This is truly one of the greatest science fiction films ever made, one that requires a thinking viewer in order to understand and appreciate it. Blade Runner fully qualifies as this in its examination of the impact of technology on human society, existence, and the very nature of humanity itself.